Welcome to SensifyCare. We're here to help you decode your lab reports and really make sense of your results.
All right, before we jump in, we've got a quick but important disclaimer. This is all for educational purposes, okay? SensifyCare is an AI tool. It's not a medical device. So for any health concerns, you've always got to consult your doctor.
So let's just get right to it. Picture this. You're an NRI. You're finally heading back to India for a few weeks. Your calendar is probably jam-packed, right? Weddings, family get-togethers, all that good stuff. And you might be thinking, with everything going on, is it really worth the hassle to squeeze in medical tests? Well, let's break that down because it might just be one of the smartest things you do on your trip.
And look, I totally get it. Your time back home is precious. But what if we looked at that visit a little differently? Think of it less like a vacation and more like a massive opportunity for your health. Seriously, there are some incredible benefits to getting your health checks done in India.
Okay, so the biggest advantage, hands down, is the cost. I mean, just look at this. A knee replacement surgery that could set you back up to, what, $50,000 in the US? In India, you're looking at a tiny fraction of that. And this isn't just for big, complicated surgeries. We're talking about everything from seeing a specialist to getting simple diagnostic tests. The savings are just huge.
And this isn't some well-kept secret, it's a real trend. We're seeing 150% year-over-year growth in NRIs coming to India specifically for healthcare. It's clear that more and more people are realizing that their trip home is the perfect chance to invest in their health without breaking the bank.
All right, a 150% jump. That's pretty convincing, and you can't argue with those cost savings. So, let's say you're on board. Where do you even begin? Let's talk about your core health checklist. These are the absolute foundational tests that pretty much everyone should think about getting.
First things first, you need a solid baseline, right? A good snapshot of your overall health. That starts with a complete blood count or a CBC. This test is great for checking on things like anemia or any underlying infections. Then there's the Comprehensive Metabolic Panel or CMP. This one's a powerhouse. It includes your kidney and liver function tests, and it gives you a big picture view of your blood sugar, your electrolytes, and how your vital organs are doing. This is really your essential starting point.
Okay, so those are the basics that give you a general checkup. But what about tests that are, well, particularly important for NRIs? Because let's be real, your lifestyle and even your genetics play a huge role. There are a few targeted tests you really need to know about.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where we need to get a bit more specific. Because of a mix of genetics and, lifestyle changes from living abroad, South Asians just have a higher risk for certain things. We're talking about heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and some key vitamin deficiencies. The tricky part is, a lot of these conditions are totally silent in their early stages. Let's kick things off with vitamin D. Now, if you live in a country that doesn't get a ton of sun, listen up. It's wild, but something like 70 to 100% of the population in India is already deficient. And for NRIs in colder climates, that problem often gets even worse. This deficiency could be the real reason behind that constant fatigue, or why you feel like you're always getting sick. It's not just you being tired.
And it's a similar story with vitamin B12. This is another really key one to check. A lot of times it's linked to dietary changes, especially if you're vegetarian. The symptoms can be so vague, just feeling tired, a bit weak, or maybe you get that weird tingling in your hands and feet. It's such an easy thing to test for, and fixing it can make a world of difference to your energy levels.
Okay, now for a big one, screening for diabetes. A regular blood sugar test? That just tells you what's happening in that one single moment. But the HbA1c test, now that is a game changer. It actually measures your average blood sugar over the last 2 to 3 months. This gives you a much clearer picture of your long-term diabetes risk, which, as we know, is a major concern for the South Asian community.
This is all fantastic information, but I know what you're thinking. What about the logistics? You're on a tight schedule. The absolute last thing you want is to waste a precious day just waiting around in a hospital. So, how do you make this whole process smooth and efficient? Let's map out an action plan.
You've just hit on the #1 worry for most NRIs. You are definitely not alone. This quote we found captures it perfectly. Everyone wants that streamlined, hassle-free experience. You want to get in, get it done, and get back to your family. And the good news? With just a little bit of planning, that is totally achievable.
Okay, here it is, your 5-step action plan. Step 1, plan ahead. Book your test packages online before you even get on the plane. Step 2, and this is super important, choose NABL accredited labs. We'll talk more about why in a sec, but it's all about international quality. 3. Schedule your tests for early in your trip. That way you have plenty of time for the results to come back and to have any follow-up chats. 4. Talk about the results with a local doctor in India. And finally, step 5. Share those reports with your main doctor back home. That keeps everyone in the loop and your health records up to date.
That's a really solid framework. But you might still have a couple of lingering questions, right? Let's tackle some of the most common ones we hear.
This is probably the most crucial question. Are these Indian lab reports actually reliable? Will my doctor in the US or the UK even accept them? The answer is a resounding yes, but with one very important condition. You have to go to an NABL-accredited lab. That NABL stamp means the lab follows strict international quality standards. It means the reports are reliable, and they'll be accepted by doctors pretty much anywhere in the world for preventative screening. So always, always look for that NABL logo.
You know, a lot of NRIs also use their trip as a chance to help look after their parents' health, which is amazing. So for your elderly parents, on top of the basics, you'll want to focus on some age-specific tests. For your mom, think about a bone density scan, a pap smear, and a mammogram. For your dad, a PSA test to screen for prostate health is really important. And for both of them, getting a comprehensive check on their heart and kidney function is absolutely vital.
So when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's this: your trip home doesn't have to be a choice between seeing family and taking care of your health. With a little planning, you can actually turn that vacation into a really smart, super efficient, and incredibly cost-effective investment in your health, one that's going to give you peace of mind all year long. So if you want to learn more, or maybe you've got some old lab reports lying around and you want some help making sense of them, please come visit us at SensifyCare.com.
And hey, for more helpful health explainers just like this one, to help you really take control of your health journey, make sure you hit that subscribe button on our channel. Thanks so much for watching.